Hi guys, so I'm back with another video, and today I'll be doing my collection for 2018. So let's just get started. My first shelf is BTS, and nothing much has changed, but I have a few new additions. So to start off with, I have Too Cool for School, I have Oh Are You Late 2, School Love Affair, Dark and Wild, I have part 1 and part 2 of The Most Beautiful Moments in Life, I have the Day and Night version for Young Forever, and then for Wings version, I have all 4. 2 of them are Korean and 2 are Taiwanese. Like myself, I think most of us thought we were going to get a different type of photo card in the Taiwanese editions, because in the Young Forever, they came with different photo cards for the Taiwanese editions. But you actually got a limited postcard, so that was kind of disappointing, but I'm so glad that I have all 4. And then I have the left and the right version of You Never Walk Alone. I have all 4 versions of Her, so I have Love. And then I have Tear, all 4 versions. And then for Self, I only have 2. I usually only get 2, or 1 actually, version of the repackage, because they tend to be a little more expensive. And then I have For You, and this is the only Japanese album I own from them. And then I have my little J-Hope calendar here, and I'll get more into this because this came with the fan site goods that I got. And then I have both of my official light sticks, so I have version 1 in the back and then version 2. And then over here in the corner, I have a pair of Jimin socks and some Wings Tour merchandise. So that is it for this shelf. Now on to the next one. Alright, so this next shelf is also BTS, so I have more BTS on this shelf. I have their Now 1 in Thailand, and then I have their Now 2 in Europe and America, and this photo book is very precious to me. It was one of the first things I bought when I got into K-pop. And then finally, for the Now series, I have Now 3. Kind of wish they would have continued this little series, but it is what it is. And then I have my Memories DVDs, and as you can see, I only have 3. It's been very hard to keep up with BTS lately, especially when I have a lot of other groups that I buy for, so I had to cut down on a lot. So technically now I only really buy their albums and maybe some fan site goods, and that's about it. But I have their Memories of 2016, 2015, and 2014. And then for concert DVDs, I have their Third Muster, their Wings Tour, their Epilogue, and then their Live on Stage. And then this is the only Japanese DVD I own. Japanese DVDs are really expensive, especially when you have to buy Blu-ray, because, you know, they're region coded or whatever. But I have Wake Up, Open Your Eyes. I have Jimin's second generation plush doll. I wanted to get J-Hope's, but I really can't find them anymore. Maybe I can try eBay, but for now I just have his. And then over here I have some phone cases that I got from, I think it was Obey the Korean. And I really wanted some K-pop phone cases, so I decided to buy from them. They're not really that protective, but they're super cute. And then I have Jungkook and V's 16 centimeter figures and just a little standee. So that is it for this shelf. Alright, so this next shelf has the boys and some of my Cube artists. So I'm gonna start on this side. The first album I have here for the boys is their first single album, The Sphere. I have their first mini album. And then I have all 3 versions of their second mini album. So I have this one. And then I have their limited one. And then lastly, I have this one. And I have both of my signed pages propped up. So I have one from Juyeon, which is my bias, and then Hakyeon, which is another one of my favorite members. So now on to the Cube side, I have my complete signed album from B2B, and it's signed by all members. And then for Pentagon, I have their first mini album. I have their second mini album. I have their third mini album. I have their fourth mini album, and this is where they started changing up the packaging. And then I have their fifth and their sixth. So that's it for Pentagon for now. And then I have Hyunsung's first mini album, My. And then I have Troublemaker, their second mini album. And then for B2B, I have a few albums. I have their first mini album. And then I'm not going to take out their fifth because it's all wrapped up. You can't really see it anyway. And then I have their seventh mini album. And then I also have their first concert DVD. And that is it for the shelf. All right, on to my next shelf. This is where I store most of my SM artists. And the first album I have here is TVXQ's The Chance of Love. And this is the version I got. I know there was a few others, but that one appealed to me a little more. And then I have Super Junior's 8th mini album. I have Lay's first mini album, Lose Control. I have EXO's Sing For You, and this is Dio's cover, which was sent randomly. I have CBX's second mini album. I have Exodus, and this is Baekhyun's cover, the Korean version. I also have the Chinese version with Dio's cover. Miracles in December. Overdose. Love Me Right. Lotto. And then I have Coco Bop. I also have Don't Mess Up My Tempo. Now on to my Shiny albums, starting with solos. I have Taemin's second album. His first album, Press It. I have Junghyun's first album. And then I have his first mini album. Onto Shiny albums. As a group, I have 101. And I also have Odd with the creepy clown. And then lastly, I have Chomi's first mini album. And that is it for this shelf. On to the next one. Alright, so this is the last shelf on this specific shelf that has albums, and as you can see, it is quite full. So let's just start over here. The first album I have here is BAP's First Sensibility. I have their 7th single album, Blue. I have their second album with Jungkook's cover. I have their 8th single album, Ego. And then lastly, their 3rd mini album, Bad Man. On to VIX, I have Edu VIX, and this is the red version. I'm not really sure if there were specific version names, but that's the one I got. I have their 3rd mini album, Kratos. Their special single album, Boys Record. And their first mini album, Repackaged, Jekyll. For Top Dog, I have their 4th mini album, which is one of my favorites. I have their first original album. And Kiddo's first EP album. For My Name, I have their first mini album. Their 2nd mini album. And their 4th single album. On to Block B, I have Zico's Television. And then I have Bastars. This is their first mini album, and it's a spin-off unit with Bebop, Pio, and Yukwon. And then I have their 4th mini album, Her. Onto icon, I have their second album. And then I have their half debut album. I'm just gonna turn this a little bit. I have TRCNG's first mini album. I have their first single album. I have Newest, their Q-Is album. I have Card's second mini album. And then I have Boyfriend's fourth mini album. Winner's debut album. Unique's first mini album. And then I have Infinite H, Fly Again. Mad Clown's third mini album. And then I have Okdong Musician's debut album. Highlight's first mini album. And then I have FT Island, their Over 10 Years album. Okay, I'm gonna turn it just a little more. Right here I have 2-4K's single album, Hey You, and it's signed by all members. But behind that, I have Madtown's second mini album. I have History's fourth mini album. I have Astro's fifth mini album, and this is the limited edition. I have 2-4K's fourth mini album. I have The Rose's first mini album. And then I have CM Blue's seventh mini album. And finally, I have Day 6's second mini album. So on to the next shelf. Alright, so this is the last shelf on this one, and this is where I store most of my season's greetings, summer packages, and DVDs. So the first one I have here is EXO's EXO Lost Planet concert DVD. I have EXO's first box and second box, Block B's first concert DVD, BAP's second adventure, TVXQ's live tour, Shiny World 3 concert DVD, and then here in the corner I have Unique's first birthday, their little anniversary photo book. And then I have BTS's Season's Greetings for 2017. Here are my summer packages. Well, most of them. I have 2015, 16, and that's 17 right there. I'm pointing at it. And then I have their Season's Greetings for 2016. And then this is EXO's Big Daijong's photo book. And then in the back I have some concert pickets, one from Monsta X and 2 from the Wings tour. And then over here in the corner, you can't see it, is my EXO light stick. Alright, so this is my next shelf. This is my 17 shelf, and I'm gonna start from left to right. I have their 5th mini album, You Make My Day, their 2nd mini album, Boys B, their 1st mini album, their 3rd, their 4th, and their special album, Director's Cut. And then for concert DVDs, I have their 2017 World Tour and their Love and Letter repackage that also comes with a concert DVD. And then I have my official light stick in the corner. Alright, so on to my GOT7 and my Stray Kids shelf. First album I have here is GOT7's Eyes on You. Identify, the close-up version. I have Arrival, and it came with this photo book. Have Just Right, Mad, Flight Log Departure. And then their second mini album. Onto Stray Kids, I have their pre-debut album, which is huge. I have both versions of their first mini album. And then I also have both versions of their second mini album. And then I have this Jackson little standee, and then off into the corner I have Jackson and JB's Flight Log figurines. I have my Stray Kids postcards and got7's first mini album. I store it right there because it's a little weirdly shaped, so it doesn't really fit with all the other albums. But yeah, that's the end of this shelf. Now to the next one. Okay, so this next shelf, I really don't have much on it. I just have 2PM's fifth album, and then I have ATEEZ's first mini album and got7's first photo book in Malaysia. Moving down here, I have all my concert goods, so like stuff from KCON and 101 and Monsta X and all like that. I just keep it here. And then here are my K-dramas, and then here's where I store my photo cards and postcards. And then I also have J-Hope's photo book, Soar. It's really huge and beautiful. And then I have this random BTS photo book that is upside down. But yeah, that is it for this shelf. On to the next. This is where I store my Produce 101 groups. So I have 101 over here and then all my other groups over there. So starting over here, I have 101's photo essay. I have their first mini album, To Be One, and then I have their repackaged Nothing Without You. I have I Promise You, and then I have the Undivided, the heel version. I have a postcard set here, and then here is my Ong mug. I have their 101 World Tour on DVD, and then I have their light stick, and that is it for my 101 collection. Now on to the rest of the groups that I collect that were on Produce 101. I have JBJ, so I have True Colors. I have one signed, one unsigned. I have Hyungsub and Uwang's first mini album, I think. And then I have Rain's, their first mini album. MXM, their first mini album and their second. And then I have Samuel's Eye Candy and Swan's first mini album, part 2, After. Okay, so this is my next shelf, and this is where I store my NCT collection. And I'm not going to pull everything out because my regular albums are really heavy and they knock everything over when I pull them out. So I have NCT 127's second mini album, Limitless. And then I have 127's Regulate, their repackaged Jungwoo and Mark's version. And then I have their first full-length album, Regular. I have NCT's 2018 Empathy, and that's both versions. I have NCT 127's third mini album, Cherry Bomb, and their first mini album. On to Dream, I have their first mini album, their first single album, and their second mini album. I have their official light stick, and then here I have some pins. So this one says NCT, this one says 10, and this one says Jungwoo. And then I have my postcard sets here. So I have We Go Up, Empathy, Cherry Bomb, and Limitless. I have NCT 127's first Japanese mini album, Chain. And sorry for the glare, really can't fix that, but I have their limited edition. And then I have my strap for my light stick, and that's 10. And then I have an extra copy of regular, I have a lot of extra copies, but this one holds my signed pages, and so I can find a place to put them. And then I have 2 collect books, 10 and Jungwoo's. Alright, so this is my SF9 / Monsta X collection, and I'm just going to start on this side. So the first album I have here is SF9's debut album, Feeling Sensation. I have their second mini album, Breaking Sensation. I have their third mini album, O Solo Mio. And then I have their fourth mini album, Mamma Mia. And then here is my first mini album that's signed by all members, and then my signed page. Here on the bottom I have my pins and my light stick and just some banners. Now on to the Monsta X side. First I have their official light stick, and then I have these little keychains that my cousin gifted me. So I have those. And then I have their albums going in backwards order from most recent release up until their first release. So I have their second full-length album. I have their 6th mini album. And here is their 5th mini album. This is their first full-length album, The Clan 2.5. And then here is their 4th. And then their 3rd. Their 2nd mini album. And lastly, their 1st mini album. Alright, so this is my last shelf, and this is where I store all of my girl groups. The first album I have here is CLC's 5th mini album. I have Idol's 1st mini album. I have Twice's 1st mini album. Their 5th mini album. And 4th mini album, and this is the pink version. For EXID, I just have their 4th mini album. I have Tan's 1st mini album and her 2nd mini album. For Girls' Generation, I have their 6th album. Mamamoo, I have their Melting album. And Red Moon. Brave Girls, I have their 4th mini album, Rollin'. For Bulbagon, I have their full album, Red Planet. From S9, I have their 1st mini album. Scoot over here a little bit. For IU, I have her Cheshire album. And Modern Times. Red Velvet, I have the Red. I have Peekaboo, and then I have their summer album, so I have Red Flavor and Summer Magic with Wendy's cover. And then I'm not going to move this, but I have 21's Crush, and I also have IOI's Miss Me and What a Man. So that is it for my collection video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the new year. Bye!